Welcome back. We're talking about tips for the PMP exam. The next one is lead a team. So let's take a look at lead a team. Lead a team is really code for 9.4, which is develop team, and 9.5 manage team. They both go hand in hand here. And let's take a look at what the PMI recommends in the content outline. Set a clear vision and mission. Some of this actually happens in 9.1, plan resource management. Support diversity and inclusion. This is also part of 9.1 and part of 9.4 and 9.5. But don't forget, you also need to understand the PMI Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct. I would highly recommend you read that. Value servant leadership. So servant leadership is talked about quite extensively in the Agile Practice Guide. It's talked about a bit in chapter 3 here, but I want to direct you to the right place to look in your Agile Practice Guide. Servant leadership, talked about on page 34, page 49, page 50. Let's go to page 34 real quick. So on page 34, it says, the following characteristics of servant leadership enable project leaders to become more agile and facilitate the team's success. Promoting self-awareness, subtle ones like that you probably wouldn't think of. You got to know these bullets really well. Listening, serving those on the team, helping people grow, coaching versus controlling, promoting safety, respect, and trust, and promoting the energy and intelligence of others. Servant leadership is not unique to Agile, but once having practiced it, servant leaders can usually see how well servant leadership integrates into the Agile mindset and value. So please read all the references. I'm going to give them to you really quick. Page 34, page 49, page 50, page 35, page 52. And we also have a few other pages, 35, 38, and 39. So just take a look in your Agile Practice Guide. And related to the PMBOK guide itself, you can also find this in chapter 3. Okay, I'm really trusting you're going to open up these things, focus on them. All right, so servant leadership, along with other leadership approaches, this is talked about on page 65 of the PMBOK guide. And it reads, demonstrates commitment to serve and put others first, focuses on people's growth, learning, development, autonomy, and well-being, and concentrates on relationships, community, and collaboration. You see, there's a lot of juice in that one on page 65, where they're actually talking about some of the tenets by Robert Greenleaf. You do want to read that, both of those places, and this task is going to make a lot more sense to you. All right. Determine an appropriate leadership style, directive, collaborative. This really is from the situational leadership model by Hersey and Blanchard. If you've not watched my video on the Praizion channel, do that. I cover that in a little bit of detail. Okay, understand contract, social contract, reward systems, really just ground rules and teams' do's and don'ts. Analyze team members and stakeholders' influence, and distinguish various options to lead various team members. A lot of this stuff is organic. When you get to the exam, all the stuff you've read, all the stuff you've practiced, it will be there, right there in your subconscious. And all you need to do is channel it, okay? So I hope this gives you further guidance. Remember, the topic of leadership is very wide. It's there in chapter 3. Make sure you cover chapter 3 well, and then beef up on the Hersey and Blanchard model and a servant leadership. That will really help you on your exam. See you in the next video.